Hey, American contractors, viewers of the American Contractor Show. I'm here with John Dye at Win the Storm, and I have to tell you, anyone that is associated with American Contractor Show, you are a badass.
Big shout out to American Contractor Show. If you don't know, you definitely need to check out the Storm Summit. They're doing it in excellence. Check them out.
Hey, what's up? This is your friend, Francisco Serrano. If you haven't checked it out, American Contractor Show, YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Twitter, Instagram, all the platforms, you need to go them, like them, start learning about your craft.
Hey, I'm Matt Danskin with Restoration Referral System. Check out the American Contractor Show. The truck that they've got is awesome. Everything else that they have going on.
This is Larry Bache with the Northern Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Northern Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I as a contractor appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor that's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
Can you hear me?
Okay, now I can.
You can hear me good?
Yeah. What the heck?
I don't know. Hang on. See if the battery, if the battery actually died. Oh no, the battery's apparently dead now in the receiver. So hey, can you go grab the batteries?
Yeah.
Yeah, hang on guys. Battery's about to die again. Apparently the receiver decided didn't want to work anymore, even though I checked it right before we did the video. As always, this happens over the weekend. So anyway, now that we have everything working properly, batteries are fully charged, jumping into those headlines again, we have the monsoon season, a lot of storms, Southwest, Western Oklahoma could see some storms today, and we currently have Tropical Storm Fred about to make landfall in the Florida Panhandle. So we'll kind of go over that a tiny bit as well. Upcoming events, the only thing we have to talk about right now is the Thunder Road Race for Recovery, still going on September 15th here in Norman, Oklahoma. Link below is where you can sign up for it, whether to be a sponsor or to race. It's for roofers in recovery, a great cause. 100% of the proceeds are going to go to that. There'll be some fun stuff there outside of just racing, some food trucks, some music, all that great stuff, and you will be able to race for some prizes. So make sure and come check us out on September 15th here in Norman, Oklahoma. So yesterday we had a pretty quiet day, only 17 hail reports, 22 high wind reports. We got a lot more wind and hail over the weekend on Saturday and Friday. So now we are at a total of 45.99 for those hail reports, and that's a far cry from where we were this time last year on all fronts. Again, the big story this year is the fact that severe season has been quite quiet. Current conditions, and this is where we're really only going to be covering Tropical Storm Fred. Unfortunately, we've had some data feed issues that we're trying to get figured out here across our MAX system. But looks like Tropical Storm Fred looking pretty good here in the last waning moments before making landfall. It fell apart entirely over Cuba, and when it popped back into the Gulf, it was able to combat the shear, hence why there's not much on the backside of the tropical storm here. But winds approximately 50 miles an hour. It's going to make landfall near Panama City this afternoon. Could be some gusts up to 60 in a couple spots, maybe some weak tornadoes. Overall, a big rainmaker, and that's going to be the main focus of this, not anything too wild. Just that reminder that we are now really getting into the more active part of hurricane season. We have Tropical Storm Grace as well, and another tropical depression out into the Atlantic. Again, unfortunately, we do not have the graphics to work with that today, but we'll have that full update for you tomorrow. Otherwise, across the country, pretty quiet. It's summertime here, 85 in Denver already, 87 in Dallas. Cooler than normal in some spots, but overall, could be some storms today and setting that stage for this afternoon. So there's that future radar. We're going to go from probably about Arizona to here to western Oklahoma, pushing forward to about 3-4 o'clock. You see those storms forming out west in Arizona and into New Mexico. These could have some pretty gusty winds with them, possibly some hail, and even some storms here in northern Oklahoma and parts of the Texas Panhandle. And as we push further into the afternoon to the evening hours, around 7 o'clock, you have those storms south of Wichita, a couple storms near Oklahoma City, some storms in the Texas Panhandle. Quite a bit of activity, a lot of much needed rain and thunderstorms here out in the desert southwest of Arizona. Places like Flagstaff, possibly even Phoenix, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, all could see some storms today. Pretty scattered and isolated nature, you know, kind of just checkered around, polka dotted around here in the southwest, and those will continue pushing south and possibly impact some city centers this evening with gusty winds up to 60 miles an hour, 60 to 65 miles an hour, maybe some quarter-size hail, especially in Arizona. By the time we get to about 3:30 in the morning, still some rain lingering here in Oklahoma, but overall things will be calming down. Future radar for Tropical Storm Fred, again, this is about 2 o'clock, moving pretty slow to the north here, making landfall near Panama City, pretty similar to where Hurricane Michael made landfall in 2018, but significantly weaker. Landfall this evening around dinner time, and we'll be pushing onshore, bringing a lot of rain to Georgia for this evening into the overnight hours as we get to about 10:30. Things really start to push north, and the wind threat will be pretty much nothing by the time you get inland from about Florida. So hail forecast today, 2 areas we're looking at for possible hail from Dodge City down to Amarillo. See some $quarter to $half size hail sprinkled in with the storms that have strong gusty winds and heavy rain. And same basic story further off to the west here in Arizona. Basically just Flagstaff is the biggest population. I think Gallup, New Mexico is right in there as well. I think the hail potential is going to stay north of Phoenix for today, which interestingly enough is the 5th biggest city in the country now. So that's good old census data. So here's that wind forecast for your Monday here. Again, much broader area. So the hail is going to really be focused more in Arizona. Wind threat all the way from Kansas down through the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma Panhandle, most of New Mexico, and into Arizona here. And you have just overall low chance. These are going to be downburst, microburst type winds, so they're pretty isolated. So you just get that potential of up to 65 mile per hour winds over a broad area this evening, and things will wind down probably about 11 o'clock, maybe midnight local time. Finally, over here to the east, I do have a moderate chance in the Tallahassee area. That's the biggest city. Of course, same goes for Panama City and possibly even as far to the west as Destin. You could see some of the gusty winds. Generally, it's going to be few and far between that get above 50, but there could be a possible, one of the stronger thunderstorms within Tropical Storm Fred could have a brief gust to 60 miles an hour. But for the most part, this is going to be an area where you see generally winds in the 40s and maybe a weak tornado or two. This is nowhere near anything like you typically see with a hurricane. This is a much weaker tropical storm. So pushing ahead to tomorrow, future radar, we are in the desert Southwest once again here in the Four Corners region, and some storms are expected to form after about 3-4 o'clock Central Time, so after about 2 or 3 o'clock Mountain Time across Utah and parts of Arizona, and this could bring some gusty winds and some marginally severe hail once again, and thankfully some much needed rain here in the state of Utah. You guys have been, this whole western half, the third of the country has really been dealing with a exceptional drought. So any rain is obviously very welcome here as we're pushing through the evening hours, and possibly some small hail as well. And with that, you see that hail forecast for your Tuesday. Really focus on southwestern sections of Utah, maybe some $quarter to $half size hail in the town of St. George. So that's what we're looking at there. Again, nothing too crazy. This week's looking pretty quiet overall. We wish we could do more hurricane coverage stuff for you guys, but until we get that data feed working again, which we will have tomorrow, we'll have a full update for everything related to Grace and possibly the next tropical system here. We are now in the near peak season of hurricane season, so anything that forms, we got to watch very carefully as it could meander towards the United States. So follow us on our social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, all that great stuff, all at Hail Trace, pretty easy to find. Hit see first on Facebook, hit the bell or whatever the hell you got to do on YouTube, just so you make sure you don't miss any of our content. And of course, give us a call, 855-334-4245. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, your first time here and you want to find out more about Hail Trace and you set up a training, or you just want to yell at me for messing up the microphone again. Anything, we're here to talk, and you can always email us as well at info@hailtrace.com or visit our website, hailtrace.com, for more details. Hope you guys have a great Monday. We'll see you again tomorrow at 12 p.m. like we do every single weekday.